Have you heard enough dark stories about race relations in the world? Well, here's a happy story. A story called Consumed by Hate, Redeemed by Love by Thomas Tarrants. He talks about how he fell in with the far right. In fact, the Ku Klux Klan back in the day, I think it was like the 1950s of America. And he ended up being a terrorist, setting up times to try and assassinate and blow up a Jewish man. He scared all sorts of African American crew and did all sorts of stuff. Ended up in jail at length. Was something that he was involved in. Saw a big police shootout, and it was all around messy, and people died. And he was again really saddened by that. But when he went into jail, he was really messed up and focused still on the cause of the Ku Klux Klan. And it wasn't until years later and coming to faith in Jesus that his life was changed. So a super encouraging story and quite amazing to see how his life turned around by the power of God. And so in time, he first kind of came to his senses and sort of stepped away, Aristotle and philosophers, and realizing how foolish he'd been, how much he'd kind of been tricked into an ideology, and then comes to faith, and then ends up as a pastor and Christian leader, and quite an amazing story. He also broke out of prison at one stage before coming to faith, and yeah, quite astounding stuff. So super encouraging if you want an easy to read biography of someone whose life was changed from race hate to loving of all types of people. This is a great one.